Good evening. Thank you very, very much for having me.
Not a problem. You're a very, very busy boy at the moment. You've got a single coming out in the next month. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. But first, when I was told that Darius was coming in and it was an interview, I thought, where do you start? Because you've been in the public eye for what seems like so long, haven't you?
Yeah, well, I was at my family home just for the weekend, and Mum and Dad were pulling out some press cuttings. It was August of 2000 that I first did the Pop Stars auditions. That's 2 years ago.
Wow.
And I realised that in the last 2 years I've grown up more than any time in my life. And I don't know, I've moved on a lot since then. And looking back at the old Pop Stars days, I realised I had a mixture of, I don't know, naivety and over-enthusiasm.
I mean, when you see the videos of you on Pop Stars, do you look back and smile, or do you look back and cringe?
No, I laugh. You got to laugh. I mean, I made all my mistakes on national television. I did a lot of growing up in the public eye. And I think for me it was a good thing, because it really threw me in the deep end. I learned a lot of hard lessons very fast. And so did a lot of listening and took things on, so that when I got right into Pop Idol, which was a year later, I think the stuff that I'd learned definitely shaped the way that I've approached the last few months.
I mean, from Pop Stars, the press certainly jumped right on your case more than any individual. I mean, obviously Hearsay got a lot of publicity, and following that Liberty, and now Liberty X.
Yeah.
But the press jumped on your case very, very early on. How did you cope with that? Because they said some pretty nasty things, didn't they? They really jumped on you.
It was an interesting one, I tell you. But I think they were looking within the programme to pick out some kind of villain character. You know,
Yeah.
the guy with the ponytail and the goatee looked like the baddie from Robin Hood or something. So they picked on me, and it was great. It was good for me, because it was it really it made me really appreciate my friends and family a lot more. You know, the one time when my dad, who's a doctor, he was in the middle of an operation. He was told there was an emergency concerning his son, and he left this man mid operation, and was told that there was news in his office. He left the operating theatre, went to his office. There's a man sitting there with a very stern face, and he says, "Dr. Danesh." And my dad says, "Well, you know, what's wrong? You know, is my son, is Darius all right? Has he been in a car crash?" And it turns out the guy was actually the editor of one of the Scottish tabloids, and he was there because they were running a front page on me the next day, and they couldn't find me for comment. And would my dad like to comment?
Oh, wow.
And so, you know, it was 5 front pages of tabloids in 4 weeks. And I was studying for my exams. You know, Pop Stars hit TV screens in January 2001, and it really it shook my world. And I realised then that I should not finish my 4th year of university, and that I had to really tackle things immediately. I took a lot of time out, and then returned with Pop Idol.
Well, to be honest, we're glad you did return. Obviously, Pop Stars wasn't to be. What we'll do is we'll have a listen to the overall winners of that competition, Hearsay. Here's their debut single, Pure and Simple, and then we'll talk more about the press intrusion on your life, because we know you've had loads of that. Here's Hearsay, Pure and Simple, from the Wave 96.5. There goes Hearsay, Pure and Simple. It's the Wave 96.5. Chris Baved joined on the interactive Evening Zone by Darius. We were talking earlier on about all the press intrusion you've had over the time that you've been in the public eye. Was there ever a time when it really, really got to you and you thought, right, enough's enough, and I want to give it up and go and do something normal? Yeah,
there was actually, after Pop Stars, you know, after the press reaction, I clammed up, and it really knocked my confidence completely. And I didn't ever want to sing in public again, to be quite honest. I couldn't imagine getting into a business where the tabloid press were so cruel. And at the time, I didn't think it was for a great reason, other than the fact that I was, you know, I made a few mistakes on national television that people saw, and I end up looking back and laughing at it now. But at the time, it was a tough time, and it really made me reassess my future as to whether I wanted to get into the business at all. And because it had been a childhood dream and something that I'd wanted to follow for so long, it was quite a rocky time last year, but that's all behind me now. I mean, we'll talk about your single Colourblind in just a moment, but going back to the Pop Stars thing, I mean, at the time you might have thought it was working against you, but in the long run it's worked for you really now, because you're going out on your own. You've got a solo career ahead of you, and unlike other artists we have in on the evening show who are going bang at it, cold start, you've got all this history behind you, which is great for interviews. You can talk about it, and it's like the girls in the office, when I said I've got Darius coming in on the show tonight, they said, oh, there'll be a lot of love in that room then. You know what I mean? And it was one quote that you probably didn't even think about before you said it, and now you're famous for it. I know. The funny thing is, I'm lucky. I'm one of the only people I know that have a catchphrase, you know, and And I am very fortunate in that I've gone through so much in the last 2 years, because it makes me really appreciate what I have now. And I'm not disillusioned by the industry or by the flash of a camera anymore. And I think it would have been very easy for me to take things for granted if I just suddenly won Hearsay, pop stars and been in Hearsay. Which thank goodness I didn't, because it's not my musical style at all. It's to my listening taste, but not my singing taste. And no, I'm very, very lucky to have gone through such a roller coaster, because I'm clinging on with all my might, and I'm looking to the future with writing of the album, etc. And you're right, history is a good thing, because it also makes me appreciate that I've grown up a lot.
Okay, tell us about the single Colourblind. You've penned this one yourself, haven't you?
Yeah, I wrote it at the beginning of the Pop Idol auditions. Even when I was doing the auditions, I didn't take them for granted as the only thing that would start at the beginning of my career. And I realised that at the end of the day, the only thing that really makes me very happy is to write music and to share it with people. So this song is based on an upbeat feeling, and I hope that the public enjoy it. It's my thank you, I suppose, for everyone's support over the last few months, and I hope people enjoy it. Okay, then would you like to introduce it and we'll have a listen? Yeah. Well, this is Darius, and this is my debut single, Colourblind. It's out in the shops on the 29th of July. Blackpool's best music station, it's The Wave 96.5. That's out on July the 29th. Darius joins me on the show tonight. Very privileged to have you in. Have you been to Blackpool before, Darius? Yeah, I have. I've been along the promenade and the roller coaster. I tell you, I had a lump in the back of my pants after that one. Oh, it's awful, isn't it? We always get people on the world's tallest, fastest roller coaster, but Blackpool's a great town to work in, very show business, and I'm sure your career will bring you back here, hopefully back on the show and stuff like that. So that'll be good. Look forward to coming back and performing live, because the Blackpool people are a great crowd, and they've given me a great welcome. And before you mentioned that we just heard the single, before you mentioned an album as well, how much writing have you done for your album? Well, I'm writing the album. I'm very fortunate to be under the guidance of Steve Lillywhite at Universal. I'm in the presence, I suppose, of my popular culture rock idol. He's the producer behind U2 and Travis and, oh God, a million bands. If I was here all night telling you what he's done, I wouldn't be able to finish. But he... How does it make you feel working with people like that? Are you sort of humble to work with people like that, or are you proud and think, wow, God, let's get on with it and get bang into it? He's at the helm of the album, and I had to kick myself the day that I met him, because he'd just come back from the States after producing an album for the Counting Crows. And I really felt very privileged, because not only was he somebody that I look up to and respect, but I was thinking that, in my greatest dreams, I'd be working with someone like that in 10 years, maybe, if I was lucky. But I'm 21, and Steve Lillywhite is the man behind my album, and I'm thinking, wow, I really am very lucky, and I'm a few steps ahead of the dream that I was dreaming a couple of years ago. Whenever I said, I would love a #1 single, and that's faded, because I realise much more important than even chart sales is making music and being happy. So I am very, very happy, and I'm making music, so I'm a lucky boy. I mean, I thought that the big band stuff you did from Pop Idol, I thought that was absolutely superb. I've got to say, your voice, it just melted into the track. It was brilliant. It really, really was. I'm not just saying that, and I know that we've been playing the big band album on the show, Let There Be Love. Brilliant. Let there be you. Let there be love. That is absolutely fantastic. I have to say, Let There Be Love from the Pop Idol Big Band album. So is there anything like that on your debut album? Do you know, I'm choosing a different musical style for the first album. I've got a 5-album deal with Universal, so I'm looking to... You're here for a while then. You ain't going anywhere. I'm looking to explore different styles, but this first album is going to reflect a lot of different experiences I've gone through and different people that I've met, and I'd like to share it with everybody that supported me on the show and offer it to them and look forward to their feedback, because I really look forward to them going out and buying it. Well, yeah, and also then saying, what they like about it and what they like to see more of, because without them out there, without the listeners, I wouldn't be here. Now then, your image has been a big thing in the press as well. You dumped the ponytail. Was that your decision, or was it a stylist, or did you just think, to hell with it, I'm going to shock everybody? Because, do you know what? I remember I was sat watching that show, and my mum said, "Who's that?" I said, "It's Darius. He's changed." And she was like, "No, it's not." She said, "You look so different." Well, I'm very lucky, actually. I would love to say that it was a stylist, but no, I don't have a stylist. My
Your
little
mum.
brother, who's 6, I was reading him Harry Potter. I put the bed by the bedside table, went to give him a kiss, and he was half asleep, and I went to give him a kiss on the cheek, and he scrunched his little face up, and he said, "Darius," and I went, "What?" He said, "You're rough." And I so the first thing that went was the goatee,
Right.
And the day that I shaved it off, he did the chin, I did the lip, and he was like, "Can we cut your ponytail off?" And I was like, "Well, actually, yeah." We did it, and it was quite fun.
It worked, didn't it?
It worked, yeah.
It definitely got him.
Right.
Right, before you shoot off, a quick game of 50-50, okay?
Shoot away.
I'll give you 2 options.
Okay.
You must pick one of them, that's the rule. Okay, we'll
good
start off. Boxers or briefs?
Briefs.
Friends or family?
Family.
Leather or rubber?
Easy now. Leather.
Thank you. Sex or shopping?
Oh, can we do both?
Well, you could go shopping to a bed shop and combine the two.
We could go to and sew to bed, and we could jump in and have a bit of a
Not me and you personally.
Well, thank goodness it's not you me personally.
Nasty Nigel or Simon Cowell?
Oh, Pete Waterman.
Oh.
Nasty Nigel.
Okay. Liberty X or Hearsay?
Liberty X.
It's got to be, hasn't it?
Well, I just saw them last weekend. They're doing great. We're doing road shows up and down the country together. I love the stuff that they're doing.
It was
really
so funny because when they first sort of formed, the press term was flop stars.
That's right.
And then just a little straight to number 1, so I was proud of them for that. Will or Gareth?
Will.
And ponytail or short hair?
I'll leave that one to you. I think you know the answer.
Darius Campbell, it's been an absolute pleasure having you. Thank you for coming to Blackpool.
Thank you very much for having me.
We'll look forward to playing the single.
Well, I look forward to coming back, and maybe next time I'm here, you can ask me to do an acoustic set, and
I'd love that. That'd be great.
I'll come back and I'll sing you a song.
Darius, thank you.